Alas, my goblins and ghouls, Halloween has come and gone. Along with it, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. It's not the only thing, however, that's coming to a close. We're going to talk about that list next.
Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
All right, so Cybersecurity Awareness Month has come to a close. Certainly, though, cybersecurity threats have not come to a close at all. If anything, they're continuing to step up as always. To that end, we want to make sure that we are not running outdated or unsupported software. So we've got a list for you of 20 things, I only have 10 fingers, but 20 things that you're going to have to replace in the next coming year to make sure that you could be cybersecurity. Because if you have a piece of software, let's say Windows 10, for example, as we all know, talked about in other videos, is no longer be supported by Microsoft in 2025 and starting in October. That means that you will have operating systems out there, if you don't replace them, that aren't getting security updates. No patches, no security updates. They're not going to be supported the way anything else is. So if a virus comes out and exploits some unknown flaw of Windows 10, and they're always finding new stuff with every operating system, even well-established operating systems, then that flaw can be exploited, and it can be exploited in mass. Because I guarantee you, every year, every cycle, this always happens. There's legions of folks who can't or won't, for some reason, move from the previous version of operating systems to the new supported version. There's plenty of examples. So if you're like a manufacturer and you've got some custom CNC machine or metal bending, metal stamping, something or other, a lot of times they have dedicated IoT devices running Windows, and those devices are operating hardware where there is no driver for the next operating system, and you're kind of stuck with that, and you have to deal with that. You have to isolate it off its own VLAN and prevent it from accessing the rest of the network, take security steps like that to compensate and mitigate the fact that it's running an outdated operating system. That takes time. And every cycle, people fall behind and use usually a rash of viruses and malware and cyber hacks that take advantage of people who didn't keep up with the curve. But, as I said, Windows 10 is not the only thing. Let's take a look at our list right here down below. Okay, so number one is Windows 10. That's what we're all looking at. But also, Office 2016, not super surprised there. 2019, I was kind of surprised to see that. That's going to end in October 2025 as well. Exchange Server 2019, I'm also surprised. Well, I did not surprise about 2016. Skype for Business Microsoft Project 2016, not surprising because Office, pretty much all the Office suites there here. Visual Studio 2015. Wow, Visual Studio, they really hung in there, didn't it? I guess developers are even slower to change than the rest of us, huh? And some duplicate stuff in here. Dynamics, if you got Dynamics running your business, that's another one to watch out for. And if we go further down, we actually get past Microsoft stuff, and there are other vendors as well. So we have Adobe Pro 2020, merely 5 years old, and they're going to stop support for it. That's a little disappointing, but, not shocking. Standard as well, other Adobe stuff, and there are other software out there. What I did for this video is I just went to ChatGPT, and I simply asked ChatGPT, hey, what's going end of life in 2025? And I told it to please include other stuff like Adobe. And so which ChatGPT took to mean to only include Adobe. That's okay. The point of this video is to get your mind thinking about other things that could be expiring. Maybe your firewall is expiring. Maybe you can't renew it. Maybe the hardware's too old. Another common one, VMware, right? Are you on a VMware support? I think 8 is the current supported version. If you got 7, you're in trouble. And VMware, as we all know, is changing their support model, going subscription and getting substantially more expensive. That's why I'm going to be doing some videos on Proxmox and some alternatives. There has been some discussion online about Hyper-V going away in 2022, and I believe, I had another person that I work with to say the same thing, so I'm going to double check this, but I believe that they're just getting rid of the free version. You used to have the headless version with no GUI. That was free, but because you can run other free things, Microsoft is getting rid of that, and that's fine. So that's not really, I don't think Hyper-V is really being expired. I think that's kind of a rumor that's, been exaggerated. But like VLC Player, Notepad++, there's all kinds of software out there that expires on a regular basis and needs to be updated. But not just updated, sometimes it just flat out expires and it's no longer being maintained at all. Inclusive line of business apps. So if you're a line of business app, you really should be aware of when that's happening. Switch firmware, your hardware. Can you get firmware for things like your ILO and your iDRAC, and all their systems, IPMI, If you're running Nutanix, if your Nutanix could expire, there's a lot of things to think about in your infrastructure. Your wireless APs is another one people tend to forget about. And even printers. You can get toner and fusers and other parts and rollers for printers, sometimes even after it's expired. So your printer may not have support, like it may not be new firmware coming out. And printers are absolutely a vector for hacking. There is a somewhat not semi-famous, but not super heard of, a breach that was involved in fax machines a while back. Those multifunction machines, somebody demonstrated that they could send a specially crafted fax that made the fax machine actually have a buffer overflow or something to that effect. And they were able to dial into the fax machine, hack it, and then use it as a remote access server. That actually happened. So yes, printer firmware is a critical security threat. You need to make sure that's updated. So that goes end of life on you. That's another problem to watch out for. So there's a lot to watch in regular maintenance. It's not just about support contracts. It's not just about reliability. It is also very much about cybersecurity. So go through your environments. Think about every device you've got. If you are doing your job well as a manager, you're going to have a service catalog of all the services you provide and an inventory of everything in your network. And that includes the obscure stuff, right? Camera. You got one camera watching the server room maybe, or key card access tools, or scanners, or anything like that that may be network aware. If it's on the network, it's got to be supported, or it's a security threat. Supported and maintained. So that's it, folks. That is the end of this video and the end of Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and free excuse to shield people with marketing material. But cybersecurity threats are always present, so I got plenty to make videos on, right? Stay tuned for some next ones and some great tips on how to deploy Windows 11 over the next course this year. See you then.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.